Two spherical balls A and B made up of same material having masses 2m and m are released from rest. Ball B lies at a distance h below the surface of the surface, while ball A at a height of 2h above water surface. In the same vertical line at an instant they are released. Obtain the position at which they collide. If the bodies stick together due to collision to what maximum height above the water surface does the combined mass rise? Specific gravity of the material of the ball is 2/3. We have to neglect the viscosity and loss due to the splash. Okay, we have to neglect that part. First of all, understand that if I consider a water tank or any tank specifically, and it contains certain mass, okay, that is ball B lies at a depth h, okay, at a height h or at a depth h. This is ball B of mass m, okay, it lies at a depth h below the surface of the water, okay, and another body of mass 2m initially lies 2h above the surface of the water, okay. This is the body A, okay. Now over here let me consider both these cases. The ball A will fall freely under the action of the gravity because it is specified that there is no viscous force. I will assume that the ball A is in vacuum, okay, or even if it is in air, okay, that is, since the density of the air is very less, it will fall freely under the action of the gravity, okay, and there will be no buoyant force acting on ball A, okay, there will be no buoyant force acting on the ball A. But on ball B there will be a buoyant force which will act in the upward direction, mg which acts in the downward direction, and the resultant acceleration will be in the upward direction. Why in the upward direction? Because you can clearly see that the specific gravity is given as 2/3, okay. The specific gravity over here, if I write down the force, it will be equal to ma. The specific gravity over here is given as 2/3. It means that its density is less than that of the liquid it is present in, okay. So let us first find out the total acceleration of block B, okay. Let us find out the total acceleration of block B. It will be equal to the buoyant force which is acting in the upward direction minus mg which is in the downward direction will be equal to m into a. The formula of the buoyant force is equal to density of the liquid, okay. So I will write it as sigma, okay. I will write it as sigma into volume of the solid into g over here minus density of the solid into volume of the solid into g, okay. This will be equal to density of the solid into volume of the solid into A, okay. So basically over here the density of the solid will be equal to 2/3 times that of the liquid. So basically I will write this as, the V will get cancelled out along this part, okay. So it will be equal to sigma into G minus 2/3 into sigma into G. It will be equal to 2/3 sigma into A, okay. So it will be equal to, the acceleration will come out to be 3 minus 2 which will be equal to 1, okay. So 1/3 into G, okay. So basically it will be equal to 2/3 into A will be equal to 1/3 into G, which implies over here that A 3 and 3 will get cancelled out, will be equal to G/2, okay. A over here will be equal to G/2. This is the acceleration of the block in the upward direction. Let us say both of them. Let us first calculate what is the time required for the first mass to cross this part and for the second mass, okay. If I say that the first mass takes time t1 and the second mass takes time t2 to reach the surface of the water, let us first calculate this part. If t1 is greater than t2, okay, that is if the mass A takes more time to reach the water surface as compared to mass B, it means that after reaching the surface of the water, the mass B will go in air, okay. The mass B will go in air, okay. And if T2 is greater than T1, that is after reaching the surface of the liquid or whatever water it may be, the mass A will go in water, okay. So there are two different cases. Let us first find out the value of T1 and T2. In order to calculate the value of T1, we will use the formula in T2 also. S is equal to ut plus half at square. Since both of them are released from rest, it means that the initial velocity is equal to 0. So for body A, it is traveling a height of 2h. It will be equal to u over here is equal to 0. So it will be equal to half into g into T1 square, okay. So this is the value. So T1 square will be equal to 4h divided by g. Okay, it will be equal to 4h divided by g, and T2 square will be equal to, and if similarly if I want to find out T2 square, let me substitute the value. Okay, I will not calculate it directly. Let me substitute the value in the same equation. H will be equal to half. The acceleration over here is given as g by 2 into T2 square. Okay, so basically again the T2 square will come out to be 4h divided by g. If you see T1 square and T2 square both are same, so I can imply that T1 will be equal to T2. Neither of them is greater. Okay, neither of them is greater than the other. It means that both of them will reach the surface of the liquid or water, whatever it may be, at the same time. Okay, so the first question they have asked is, obtain the position where they collide. They collide at the surface of the water. Okay, so if I consider this as the position 0, so they collide at a position 0, that is on the surface of the water. Second thing we have to calculate, if the bodies stick together due to collision, to what maximum height above the water surface does the combined mass rise? Okay, so it means that after this part, what is the maximum height till which the bodies will rise? Now this is a tricky question, and how do I find out this part? Okay, now first of all let me find out the velocity, and I have to apply the formula of the collision. Okay, so we can use the formula V is equal to u plus at. Okay, V is equal to u plus at. Okay, or I can use the formula V square is equal to u square, or I can use the formula V square is equal to u square plus 2as. So the first one, the velocity of the first ball when it reaches the surface, initial velocity is equal to 0. 2 into g into height over here is equal to, height over here is equal to 2h, and for the second mass it is equal to, this is v1 square. Okay, and v2 square over here will be equal to 2. Acceleration over here, the acceleration of the second body is equal to g by 2, and the height raised over here is equal to h. Okay, the height raised over here is equal to h. So you can clearly see over here v1 square. Okay, v1 square will be equal to, v1 square or v1 will be equal to root 4gh. Okay, and v2 over here will be equal to root gh. Okay, so I can say that v1 is equal to 2 times v2. Okay, currently I require only this part. Okay, now this is the velocity just before collision. So what will be the velocity after the collision? Now the mass 2m is traveling in the downward direction, and the mass m is traveling in the upward direction. It means that I will use the conservation of momentum m1 u1 plus m2 u2 will be equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Okay, plus m2 v2. Now m1, that is the mass 2m, is traveling in the downward direction, so I will take it as negative. It will be equal to negative into v1 will be equal to minus to, or it will be equal to, I will directly substitute the values, minus 4gh plus m into root gh. Okay, both of them stick together, so it will be equal to m1 plus m2, so it will be equal to 3m into the certain final velocity v. Okay, certain final velocity v. Okay, so m will get cancelled out everywhere. It will be equal to minus 4 root gh. Okay, plus root gh will be equal to 3 times v. So 3v will be equal to minus 3 root gh, or the final velocities of both the mass, combined mass, will be equal to minus root gh in the downward direction. But if you see, it is minus root gh in the downward direction. So what is happening? If I elaborate this sum, both of them collide along this part, okay, on the surface of the water, and both of them initially go in the downward direction. Okay, but now the combined mass is experiencing an acceleration in the upward direction due to the buoyant force. Okay, due to the buoyant force, they are experiencing a acceleration in the upward direction, and this acceleration will remain same. This acceleration will remain same, which we have already calculated, which is equal to g by 2. Okay, so what will happen over here? Okay, what will happen over here? The combined mass will go down for a certain distance. It will go down for a certain distance. Then it will again rise to the surface of the liquid with the same velocity. Okay, since acceleration is uniform and the position is also same, I can say that for the same displacement, for zero displacement, they will rise to the same height at the same with the same velocity. It means that if I again draw the diagram, both the combined mass of 3m will now go in the downward direction and again rise to the same height due to the acceleration, and now they will pop out of water. Okay, so what is the velocity over here? The velocity over here is equal to root gh. Okay, velocity over here is equal to root gh. While going down it was minus root gh, while coming up it will be equal to root gh. So what is the maximum height when the initial velocity is equal to root gh? We will use v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Okay, so now over here the final velocity over here is equal to 0 when the combined mass reaches certain height. The final velocity is equal to 0. Initial velocity is equal to minus root gh. So when I square this part, it will be equal to root gh. The acceleration due to gravity is in the downward direction, so it will be equal to 2g into s. So s will be equal to h divided by 2. This is the maximum height raised by the combination after they collide. This is the maximum height raised by the combination.